Hey, my name's Anthony. I got a real quick video that I want to do today over a question that I get a lot. And I felt like, hey, well, I'm having a cup of coffee and taking a break. Why not just address it now? So the question is from a lot of people that I work with: how do I pull myself out of a funk after I've been to an event or a seminar or a wellness retreat? And let's just go into why that happens real quick first, and then how to get out of it. So the first thing is, you have that depression and withdrawal and self-doubt after a lot of these events, because when you're at the event, everyone that's there is on the same page as you in terms of not necessarily the same goals and desires, but the desire to move forward, better themselves in some way or another, and make lifestyle changes. And everyone that's there has that, so the energy in that room and everyone's attitude is very conducive to growth and pushing each other forward and helping each other and backing each other up. And that's really important with any type of big lifestyle changes, is to have a group of people behind you that will push you and will help you with that. And the problem is, when you come home, all of a sudden, a day later, you're amped up when you come home a day later, and you start looking like, oh man, I'm pouring the same cup of coffee for breakfast. Doing the same thing at work. I'm eating the same lunch. I'm going to the same coffee shop, and you just feel like you're stuck. You feel like you've had this inspiration. You've tasted where you could be, how you could get there. And all of a sudden you're like, how is that going to happen? How am I going to get there? And that's because your environment is not conducive to your growth. Essentially, that's what it boils down to. It's a really simple answer that's a little more complicated to figure out. At the seminar, it works because everyone's on the same page as you and everyone wants to be better. And when you get back, you start talking with your friend that has the ambition. You start talking with your grandmother that finds something wrong in everything that's going on. You get back in your house or your apartment with your roommate who is toxic, that you can't stand, but you're stuck in a lease with them for however long. You're stuck in a job that you can't leave right this second, because you've got to pay this bill or that bill, or you've got something going on, you have to get something else going. And what it comes down to is you have to get out of that situation. And as long as you're working to get out of the situation, your head is going to say, yeah, you know what? I was there and I felt that great there, and yeah, I'm back to my old routine, but now look what I'm doing. I'm making changes, I'm making moves, I'm making things happen. And that's really the key, is you have to start actively changing your situation. That means looking for someone to take over your half of the lease of the apartment so you can get out of it and away from your roommate. It means talking to certain toxic or negative members of your family less, or sitting them down saying, look, this is where I want to be. This is how I want to do it. You have to be on board with me on it and support me in this, and cut this out when you're talking to me. If you want to say that to other people, that's fine, but if you're talking to me about it, I don't want to hear it. Say it to someone else. And if they don't meet you halfway there, then just stop communicating. Like, sometimes you can't stop communicating with, but cut the communication down to the bare minimum so it's not affecting you in a big negative way. And just make moves to get out of your situation. Better yourself that way. And as long as you're moving forward in one way or another, you'll feel better, and you'll start making those changes, and you'll start seeing the results that you heard you're gonna see at these different seminars. without doing that, you're just stuck in this case. I mean, best case scenario, let's say for people that haven't been to anything yet, set up a schedule of things that you're going to do before you go to this retreat, or before you go to this weekend away, or this seminar. Start making the changes. Start slowly cutting people out of your life that are toxic to you. Start cutting people out that are not benefiting you in a really positive way, or just kind of like stagnant anchors. So they don't need to be negative all the time, but if it's just a stagnant anchor that's anchoring you to one place, all it's going to do is it's going to make it harder for you to move forward. So that's going to be really important. So start making the changes before you even go. Start looking for people to take over that lease. Start looking for other job opportunities. Start donating your clothes if you're going to something to lose a lot of weight. Start donating your clothes that fit perfect to charity, and then start replacing it with clothes that are going to be snugger, because that's going to give you no choice but to look, I'm committed to it. I'm getting rid of this stuff, and I'm getting things that are going to fit where I'm going to be. And start buying clothes that will fit you next month, and get rid of the stuff that fits you now. And it's forcing you to do it. It's your head's kicking. You're like, no, I'm doing this. We're making it happen. If you start doing that before you even go, that's going to cut 90% of any withdrawal feelings out when you get back from these things. And that's really the key. You can't move forward and grow if your environment is not conducive to it. You can't grow a flower in a pot of manure, but if you move a little bit of manure to the soil, you can grow a flower in that. And that's really the key with it. Change your environment and change your life. Sometimes it's easier said than done, but work towards it. Do something that's going to forward that, and you'll start seeing results, and you'll see a difference, and your mental attitude is going to be very different too. So that's all I got.